Sing, O goddess, sing of the coming of the red-faced lord of all. Sing of his children, the Kolithelon, and their battles that raged through the heavens and thundered over the cosmos. Sing of the deceit of the great serpent, Dunsun's defeat and his triumphant return. Sing of the fulfillment of the prophecy of Yulthelon, the fall of the cloud gatherer and the rise of golden Xotgelon, glittering palace of the gods. Far to the west, in the shadow of Mount Betgenon, and under the care of the wild men of the woods, Geli's twins grew to maturity. Hidden from the rage of Bul and blissfully ignorant of the rule of the Belithelon, Dunsun and Tholo were raised together, but this was a time before the correct customs had been established, and the gods follow a different order and morality to mortals. Soon they began to lust for each other and give in to those urges. In the foothills of Mount Betgenon, Tholo birthed the third generation of gods, the Kolithelon. Firm in his majority, and a clan over which to govern, red-faced Dunsun soon began to desire a land of his own to rule and to shape to his own design. It was with this ambition driving him that he declared to the Kolithelon, "We shall leave this tranquil land and the care of the wild men. Eastward we will march, to seek a place to build a palace and carve out a kingdom of our own." Knowing no other course other than to follow their father and leader, the Kolithelon agreed, and the gods began their great trek east. The appearance of the Kolithelon startled Bul. Surprised that his progeny yet lived, and the prophecy of the shining goddess may yet still come to pass, he raced to find his brother, the great serpent Sem. "Brother, Geli's children still live. She has fooled us both, and now those twins return to my realm with a brood of children, no doubt to wrestle control of the world from me. Whatever differences we have, let us set them aside to protect our position." "That cannot be allowed to happen, brother. We must oppose such action, but such a band of followers will be powerful, perhaps even match your strength. Might I suggest a scheme? Allow me to lure away the daughter, white-armed Tholo, with promises of power and rewards. Then you can unleash your spawn, your fierce menacing clouds, to harass them and weaken their resolve. Alone, this Dunsun will be unable to resist your force." Bul nodded his head in agreement, and the sky rumbled. As the Kolithelon travelled eastwards, Tholo, the white-armed goddess, found herself drawn to the north, a desire to explore the wastes and the tundra of the lands ever gripped by winter. It was in these boreal climes that Sem appeared to her. "Caution, for I come to you with a warning. The great cloud gatherer, Bul, fears you and your twin, for he believes you will bring about the end of his dominion over these lands. He intends to vanquish your shades, as he once tried and failed to do. Even now he schemes and plots to throw down red-faced Dunsun. But fear not. I have a plan to dissipate the clouds and free you to rule this land as I rule the oceans that surround it. With my skills in craft and metallurgy, I shall show you how to build a weapon to contain the power of the skies, a tool that can defeat mighty Bul." Meanwhile, Bul unleashed his spawn. The Bulodon bellowed down out of the north like a thundercloud, sweeping over the Kolithelon and causing a panic amongst them. Dunsun, powerful warrior that he is, drove the Bulodon off. He sent the Kolithelon to pursue them while he continued east, seizing the mountain upon which he would one day raise the palace of Xotgelon. While the Kolithalon ventured in pursuit of the Bulodon, Bul himself took the opportunity to overawe them. In a demonstration of his might, with the thunder of the skies, he beseeched the Kolithalon to follow him and not allow themselves to be ruled by Dunsun. The might of the Cloud Gatherer and the persuasiveness of his words swayed the young gods to his side. Having dealt with Dunsun's greatest allies, Bul rumbled south and rose to confront Dunsun at the towering mountain. Left to fight alone, Dunsun stood little chance against the fury of the skies, as, though he was powerful, Bul was the elder and contained within him the fury of the chaos of creation. Dunsun's body was burned away as the Cloud Gatherer struck him again and again, his shade sent hurtling down to the realm below, into the care of the rich Lord Fenmoth. Bul basked in his victory, and lorded it over the rest of the Kolithalon, declaring himself the sole ruler of Kolgennon. Upon hearing of the Kolithalon's betrayal and Dunsun's defeat, Tholo fled into the deep woods to seek out her mother, Geli. Finding her, she beseeched the mistress of the forest for aid. "Mother, your son, my twin, has been smited. His shade now languishes in the hidden realm. Will you journey there with me to save him from this fate?" "It will be no easy task, daughter, to save Dunsun. The rich lord jealously guards the shades that he harvests. He will demand a bargain, a price for such a prize as red-faced Dunsun. Anything. I will pay whatever it takes to save him from this fate." Geli nodded, as a visceral sense of dread swept through her. They sought out one of the many secret entrances to the hidden world of the rich lord. Although in those ancient days, crossing the boundaries between the worlds was still a feat even men could achieve, it was no easy task, even for the immortals. To find the crossing point, they passed through the domain of the bearer of the bronze club, traversed the land of the whipping trees, crossed the hunting grounds of Zoloibel, resisting the music of the Yaloi that stretched their shades to breaking point, and finally Rinukol, the river of memory, which they crossed with trepidation. Once inside, they were greeted with delight. The rich lord had been waiting for them, and lavished upon them every kind of favour that his considerable power could command. After they had feasted at the Hidden One's table, Geli dared to request that the dread lord release the shade of her fallen son, to which Fenmoth replied, "Fair Geli, carer of the fertile earth, it would be a pleasure to grant such a request to you, but alas, even one with power such as I cannot simply release a shade from my dark halls. A price must be paid, a bargain struck." "And what would you demand, rich lord of the dead?" "A simple one, but one that would bring me much delight. In return for allowing your son to leave, I would request that you, Geli, stay here with me, as my partner and queen of this abundant realm." Geli was shocked by this entreaty, and terrified that she would not see the world above again, which she so loved. "My rich lord, I cannot, for I fear without me to tend it, the land would fall into a cold and lifeless embrace. The trees would lose their leaves and splendour, fruits would not grow, and all my work would be lost. I would not be able to watch such a thing happen. I would lose my own lustre for life." The rich lord considered these words for a moment. "I can see how troubled this thought makes you, and I am nothing but a generous and giving lord. So I will alter the bargain for you. You will be bound to me and this realm, but I will allow you to spend half the year tending to the world above, ensuring your work may prosper." Reluctantly, Geli replied, "If it will mean the release of the shade of my son, then I see I have no choice. With that, the bargain was struck. Dunsun would be released, as Geli took her vows with the rich Lord of the Dead there and then. Even today we know when Geli fulfills her bargain, as the land mourns at the loss of its carer and winter takes its grip. Dunsun was released from his prison, ready to win back the loyalty of the Kolgennon and challenge Bul for the rule of the world above. But before the twins departed the hidden realm, Tholo had one more request of the dread sire. Dunsun will not defeat Bul by strength alone. From your rich halls grant me a quantity of zilthum, the famous white ore. From it I will craft a weapon to contain the power of the skies and turn Bul's strength against him. Fenmoth, to the twins' surprise, agreed to allow Tholo to harvest a measure of the ore. Tholo worked as the music of the Yelloi drifted through the halls. Finally, she emerged with a weapon unrivaled by any other, and gifted it to Dunsun. Armed with the Zilthum Thunderbolt, Dunsun rose to the world above, bright and shining and angry. Emerging near the site of his defeat, he set off west, seeking to confront Bul. During this time, the Kolgennon had come to regret their inaction when Bul attacked Dunsun, for now they struggled and toiled under his despotic rule from the skies. When Dunsun returned and showed himself, they rallied to his cause. With the Kolgennon at his back and thunderbolt in hand, Dunsun challenged Bul for rule over all the cosmos. A great battle ensued as the combatants rumbled over the world, from east to west and back again. Great arcs of lightning flew, and thunder rumbled like the sound of 1,000 stampeding horses. So violent was their confrontation that the land was ripped asunder and made anew. Great mountains became rocky plains, vast steppes became flooded salty seas, and yet still the battle raged. For 10 whole years the conflict was fought. It ebbed and flowed across the heavens and rushed back and forth over the land. Titans and giants chose their sides and battled on the plains below the thundering skies. All the while the lesser beings, wild men and beasts, perhaps even the first stirrings of man, cowered and hid where they could. Until finally, Dunsun was able to confront Bul directly, striking him with a mighty blow that brought the great cloud gatherer to his knees. Being immortal, it was impossible for Dunsun to destroy his foe entirely, and wary of the schemes of Fenmoth, he did not wish to destroy Bul's form and send his shade hurtling down to the world below. Instead, he used the power of the Thunderbolt to castrate Bul and banish him forever to the realm of the heavens, never to return to Kolgennon again. Though Sem had provided much aid to the new Lord of the Cosmos, Dunsun had also come to see his scheming and duplicity in this tale. In a final confrontation, more savage than any of the previous battles, Sem rose from the depths to confront the red-faced Lord of all. Their battle scourged the seas and scoured the lands, burnishing the sky with crimson and death. For a time, Sem and his acolytes looked to emerge the victors. But with the thunderbolt in hand, Dunsun was able to finally banish the great serpent to the depths below, and a tenuous peace was brokered. Sem would remain in the seas, but that would be as far as his writ would run, and he would bow to Dunsun in matters that concerned the whole cosmos. When Fenmoth sent the Yelloi to congratulate him, Dunsun did not trust them. He gave them a message, that Kolgennon was his kingdom to rule alone. No longer would it be so easy for those from the realm of the heavens or the hidden world below to cross over into his domain and do as they please. He would close the barriers and protect his kingdom. Dunsun took the place where he suffered his defeat at the hands of Bul as his new palace, a mountain upon which he built his shining seat of golden Xotgelon. He did this to remind himself of why he was defeated and to never repeat that mistake. Each day he would rise from his bed and take his seat on his golden throne, to look out over his new world and illuminate it with light. Learning how to rule from Bool's mistakes, he gave each of his children a domain which to oversee in his new world, the world that would soon see the dawning of the old kingdoms of men. The titanic battles of the war in the heavens shaped the world as we have come to know it. While gods clashed and the skies rumbled, the first men emerged. There are many tales as to their origins, though most agree that some of the gods took pity on the mortals, seeking to aid them. These actions would bring about the ire of Dunsun, but would usher in the dawn of the old kingdoms and the coming of the time of heroes.